The Maybach at my gate cost more than my whole life 5 years ago. That was the first warning.
Mommy, that car is big.
It's rude to block the gate.
He looks like me.
Vivi, took you long enough to surface. And look at this little guy, same eyes as yours.
And then the third one appeared without stepping out of a car.
Uncle Sebastian has your picture too, Mommy.
We need to talk.
No, we need to celebrate. Dinner. My place. I'll have the chef make something the kid'll love.
Move your car.
Excuse me?
You're blocking the gate. We're going home.
Vivi, don't be like this. We've got a lot to discuss. Paternity, custody, stability.
They hadn't seen my son for 5 years.
Stability. Vivian, you'll move into the East Wing. Tonight. The boy needs...
He needs what? A father who recognizes him after 5 years.
Come on. We're trying to do right by him.
Do right by yourselves. Leave us out of it.
Are they coming with us, Mommy?
No, because they're late.
Why not?
Somewhere behind us, 3 men were realizing they'd lost something. They just didn't know what yet. Or how much it would cost to get it back.
There you are.
You can't be here. What do you want, Gabriel Young?
I come bearing gifts. I want to meet my son. Properly. Dinner. My place. I'll have the chef make that pasta you used to like. The one with the clams.
He's not your son. And I'm allergic to shellfish.
Look, I talked to Lucas. We're thinking joint custody. Week on, week off, holiday split. It's fair.
You talked to Lucas.
Trust Hut, top player schools.
3 men. 20 minutes with my child. And now they were dividing holidays like I was a line item. You're planning a life for a child you met 20 minutes ago? Based on a resemblance? Without a DNA test? Without asking me?
Because you'd say no, you're being difficult, as usual.
You were in Suite 1806 the night you're so sure you conceived a child. I know because I booked it. And I sat outside for 3 hours while you entertained Miss Victoria Brown.
That was business.
Was it? Ms. Brown posted about it on her public blog the next day. She tagged the suite number.
You don't get to decide what's fair. You don't get to decide anything. Not for him, not for me.
You're still angry about that, after all this time.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just not interested.
Vivi,
Door's behind you. Try not to let it hit you on the way out. In the monitor reflection, my face looked calm. It had to. Calm was how women like me survived men like... Sebastian Quinn didn't come himself.
Apologies for the cloak and dagger. Please, sit.
I saw the billboard.
They asked for a personal item, something meaningful. I thought of you.
Why?
Because you were meaningful. I've thought about you often. Wondered where you'd gone. If you were well. If the child was yours alone to raise. I kept this. All this time. Proof that some connections endure.
Proof of what?
That I remembered. That I valued what we had. Even if circumstances prevented us from exploring it further.
He had taken a crowded memory, cut out everyone else, and called that devotion. You didn't remember me. You remembered a shape, a silhouette, something to fill a space in your narrative.
What's this?
The check you gave me 5 years ago. The check you gave me, the one I never cashed.
I don't recall.
Suite 1402, November 3rd, 8:47 p.m. I told you I was pregnant. You said, handle it, and handed me this. Then you told your assistant to deal with the distraction.
I was under a great deal of stress. Business was volatile. I may have been abrupt.
You were absent, and now you're present, with a photo you never earned, took, a memory, and a check you never meant to honor. Keep it. It's the only part of me you'll ever own.
I could be a father to him. I could give him everything.
Everything except the one thing he needs.
Which is?
A man who doesn't need a photograph to remember his mother.
That man's tea smelled funny.
It did. The knock came at 7:03 a.m. Sharp, polite, wrong. People who belonged in my mornings didn't knock like that. Vivian Wells. I hope I'm not interrupting. I wanted to introduce myself properly, given the circumstances. The circumstances being your fiancé blocking my car yesterday. Lucas is under a great deal of stress. We all want what's best for the child. Stability.
Who's that, Mommy?
A guest. Go finish your orange juice. I brought something for him. A welcome gesture. We don't accept gifts from strangers. It's not a gift. It's a necessity. Children notice these things, Vivian. They notice when their clothes aren't from the right places, when their mothers don't know which fork to use. He won't be embarrassed. Not with who his father is, or fathers. The boy needs guidance. And you need to understand your place in this. My place? In the help. The help uses the back door, Vivian.
Lady, you're standing in our doorway.
I'm sorry?
Mommy says if you stand in someone's doorway, you're either coming in or going out. You're not doing either.
Children should be seen, not heard.
Heard, seen. That's how people work, lady.
Take it. For him. Think about what I said. Goodbye, Mrs. Brooks. Wait!
Mommy, this doesn't fit.
I know.
Can we give it back?
No, we're keeping it.
Why?
Because it's evidence.
No.
Not because of them, because of me. That was why my son sat straight, spoke clearly, and owned his own doorway. At 2:14 a.m., the apartment was quiet enough to hear Old Choice's breathing. That was when I opened the bottom drawer. Enough zeros to buy the building. Enough to disappear. I never cashed it, not because I was noble, because he thought I could be bought at all.
Mommy?
Go back to bed.
Can't sleep. Had a dream.
About what?
About a man. He was tall, wearing a suit. He kept saying he was my dad, but I didn't know him.
What did you tell him?
I said I already have a dad. He asked who. I said you.
Something in my chest settled then. Not a break. A foundation finding its level.
Mommy, when is Daddy coming home?
He's not.
Okay. You're not sad, are you?
No, I'm not sad. The numbers on the check didn't mean anything anymore. They never had. The sound was loud in the quiet apartment. Mechanical. Final. They thought the check was power. They never knew about the line of code I wrote 5 years ago. The patents. The shell company under my mother's maiden name. The Zurich accounts filling quietly on their licensing fees. None of them knew I was done. I loved him like a fact. Like gravity. Facts didn't need apologies, or explanations, or fathers who came home late. The love didn't die with a bang. It died with a click, like a switch turning off, like a shredder finishing its cycle. And in the quiet that followed, I heard only one thing, my own breathing. Steady, certain, free. The next morning, I went to a law firm on the 42nd floor. Glass, chrome, Barrett scuffed shoes.
Ms. Wells, you're early.
I'm punctual.
The preliminary trademark filing, as requested, under the name Phoenix Holdings.
The patent transfer?
Processed last week, backdated to 5 years ago. The original filing date holds. Your mother's maiden name, Lynn, as sole registrar. No links to your current identity. No flags. The licensing agreements are ongoing. Quarterly payments to the Lynn Trust account in Zurich. Untouched. Accruing interest. You've been collecting royalties on their core technology for 60 months. They never noted.
They wouldn't. They don't read the fine print. They hire people to do that.
People like you.
People like me. 5 years ago, I filed their papers in silence. 5 years later, Those papers own them.
Their latest venture, a joint AI integration project, Codome Trinity, launching in 90 days.
Trinity.
It relies entirely on the algorithm you patented. Without it, the project collapses. They're paying Phoenix Holdings 12% of gross revenue now. If Trinity launches, that percentage triples.
Schedule a board meeting. For Phoenix Holdings, quietly.
Done.
Offshore, I want a proxy vote on the Trinity licensing terms.
And the child? The men will push for custody, visitation, leverage.
He's not part of this.
They'll try anyway.
Let them. They'll find the doors locked.
You're certain this is the path, Ms. Wells?
One more thing. The shredder bin from my apartment. Make sure it's emptied regularly.
Consider it done. Ms. Wells, Mr. Hart requests your presence at the headquarters.
Tell Mr. Hart that I'm busy.
He said it's regarding the child.
Tell him the child is in school, and I don't conduct business before noon. Change of plans. Move the board meeting to tomorrow. Add a full audit of all licensing fees paid by Hart Corp, Young Ventures, and Quinn Foundations for the past 5 years. I want line item discrepancies.
Understood.
Gabriel found us at the playground wearing a pink polo and carrying gifts like he could shop his way into fatherhood.
Vivi, you're impossible to pin down. New phone and everything, huh? I brought peace offerings. The drone's got a 4K camera, kid'll love it. And the giraffe, limited edition, sold out online. Hey, little man, check it out. It's Jeffrey. Jeffrey the giraffe. He's got like a backstory and everything.
Castles don't need guards, they have walls.
This thing is insane. GPS tracking, auto return, we can fly it right now. Maybe even past Mommy's office. See what she's up to.
Does it make noise?
Nose? Nah, it's whisper quiet. High-end motors, you
It'll
won't even...
scare the birds. Miss Rook pedsments every Tuesday. They'll drop them. Then the ants come, and the ants bite. Mommy, can we go home now? I want to finish my book.
5 more minutes. He was trying the only way he knew how.
I'm trying here. I'm actually...
Buying noise, getting attention, mistaking effort for love. You're trying to buy what you didn't earn. Again.
It's not buying, it's connecting, bonding. Isn't that what kids need? Stuff? Experiences?
Kids need consistency. They need someone who shows up when they say they will, who doesn't confuse a drone with a bedtime story.
I showed up today. I'm here.
Because you want something, not because he asked.
He doesn't even want the giraffe.
No, he doesn't.
I'll figure it out. I'm not a total loss, Vivi. I used to be good at things, at people, before you...
Bye, Mr. Young.
The drone box fluttered on the bench in the breeze.
For you, thanks.
Thanks. I didn't touch it. I didn't need to. I had the stone. The invitation arrived on cream villanelle with the Hart Corp crest. Thick paper. Thin thread.
Audit underway. Preliminary findings. Hart Corp underreported licensing fees by 18% over 24 months. Young Ventures by 22%. Quinn Foundations by 31%. Discrepancies traced to offshore accounts in the Caymans. Evidence is clear.
They thought they were inviting me to a party. I was already preparing their autopsy. You wanted a family portrait. Here's your chance.
What's that?
An invitation.
To a party?
To a performance.
Will there be cake?
Probably.
Will you go?
Yes.
Can I stay home?
Yes.
This is better than cake.
It is.
Wear the black one, the one with the pockets.
Why the pockets?
For tissues, in case someone cries, or for the stone, so you don't forget.
He didn't ask who would be there. He just assumed I'd come back. That was trust, the kind none of them had earned.
Ms. Wells, I received your message. This is unnecessary. We can resolve this privately, for the child's sake.
The child's sake.
A public spectacle would be damaging for everyone, especially him. Imagine the headlines, the scrutiny. He's so young.
Sebastian.
Yes?
You're worried about the wrong headlines. Tomorrow night, the performance would begin, and I wouldn't be playing a role. I'd be conducting the orchestra. I entered the boardroom at 9:02 a.m., 2 minutes late, enough to insult them, not enough to apologize.
Vivian Wells, this is a private meeting.
I know. That's why I'm here.
How'd you even get past security? We didn't clear...
I didn't need clearance. I own the building. Page 3, paragraph 4. The lease agreement, signed 5 years ago. By you. under a holding company, Phoenix Hoardishings. They built their empire in rooms they never bothered to read. That was always my advantage.
Vivian, this is unnecessary. We invited you to the gala tonight to discuss the child's future. There's no need for theatrics.
The gala, where Lita will introduce the three of you as prospective fathers, where the cameras will flash, where the narrative will be written before I speak.
We're trying to protect him from gossip,
From me.
uncertainty.
While you were protecting him, you were also underpaying Phoenix Hoardishings by an average of 23% per quarter for 5 years.
We pay those fees. I see the transfers every month.
You see the transfers you authorize. You don't see the discrepancies, the offshore accounts, the creative accounting. 18% underreporting by Hart Corp, 22 by Young Ventures, 31 with Quinn Foundations. Compound interest over 60 months, plus penalties. Total due, approximately 480 million.
What do you want?
Tonight, at the gala, you'll announce that Phoenix Hoardiships is the sole owner of the algorithm. You'll disclose the audit findings, voluntary. You'll confirm that the child, my son, has no biological connection to any of you, and you'll withdraw from all custody
We
proceedings.
can't simply...
Or I can release this to the SE, the press, and your investors during Leah's speech. Imagine the headline: Tech Titans built empires on stolen code.
You've been planning this.
Since the shredder.
The check, you kept it all this time.
I kept everything. Receipts, emails, witness statements, flight logs, hotel bills, including Suite 1806. Gabriel Victoria Brown posted about it, remember? Public domain. At 4:17 p.m., the mail splot stud out the truth in heavy cream paper. Lucas Hart's wax seal. 3 sheets inside. 0. 3 times. Clean. Final.
What's that, Mommy?
Paperwork.
Important?
Very.
Lab confirmed. Results transmitted to all 3 parties at 3:45 p.m. No leaks. Yet. The gala begins in 3 hours. Will they comply?
They'll comply. Or they'll wish they had.
You're going to the party.
Yes.
Will they be there?
Yes.
Will they cry?
Probably.
Good.
Why good?
Crying means they know. Knowing means they leave. Leaving means we get the good juice boxes. The ones with the straws that don't break.
Vivian, I saw the results. It's not possible. There must be a mistake. The resemblances?
I know. The resemblance is coincidence or projection. You saw what you needed to see.
I need to see him. Before tonight,
You need to do nothing. Tonight you'll stand on that stage. You'll tell the truth about the patent, the audit, and the DNA. Then you'll leave us alone.
And if I don't?
Then I'll tell it for you.
During
his
goodbye.
introductions, audio, the video of her stealing files from your office, the one I've been saving.
You wouldn't.
I would. And you know it.
I could still be a father to him. Not biologically, but legally, financially. I could give him everything.
He doesn't need everything. He needs one thing. And I've been giving it to him for 5 years.
What thing?
Consistency. The thing you've never understood.
Will you wear the earrings? The silver ones Grandma gave you? They make you look like a queen.
Not a queen, something better. A woman who didn't need a crown to own the room. The grand ballroom was a lie in gold leap. Crystal chandeliers, white roses, men rehearsing virtue under warm light. Welcome, everyone. Tonight we celebrate family, legacy, and the bright future of our city's most cherished children. Tonight we put rumors to rest. Because this child deserves certainty. He deserves a name. He deserves a name! They thought they still had the stage. They forgot who owned the script. We are honored to introduce the 3 men who have stepped forward to claim that privilege, to offer this child the love, stability, and future he deserves.
The child is my priority. My resources are his. My legacy will be his, whatever the DNA says.
Whatever the DNA says? Whatever the DNA says is 0%. 3 tests, 3 labs, 3 independent verifications, paid for by them. Each result, 0%. Not one of them is his father. Vivian, this is highly inappropriate. We're in the middle of a lie. My name is Vivian Go. I was the woman who fixed their problems, booked their rooms. Forgot today, I'm the woman who owns the patents to the algorithm they built us there in empires on. The woman who uncovered 400 milers in unpaid licensing fees, and the woman who raised the child they now me introduced correctly before. So I did it myself. But that's not the only thing they've been lying about. There's also their family values, their integrity, their respect for women. On this drive is a video filmed 5 years ago in Lucas Hart's office. It shows Leah Brooks accessing confidential files, deleting emails, and planting evidence, at the request of the man who now claims to be her fiancé.
Vivian, don't.
Too late. You wanted a family portrait? Here's yours. A thief, a liar, and 3 men who enabled her. This is a setup! Check the mathematics. Check the time. Check the facial recognition. It's you. And it's been 5 years. You wanted a child to claim, you got a scandal instead. You wanted a legacy, you got a lawsuit. You wanted a family, you got the truth. I walked out of the hotel and kept going, until the city thinned into a dark park and an empty swing set. Noise behind me, quiet ahead.
You're here.
I'm here.
The video, the DNA, the audit, it's all true.
It's all documented.
The shredder bin was full. I looked inside, saw the pieces.
You saw the pieces. Men like Lucas only understood endings once they could hold the wreckage in their hands.
I didn't understand then. I thought it was anger, regret. Now I know it was math. Subtraction. You were removing me from the equation.
From all of you.
The boy, he's not mine.
No.
But he could have been. If I'd looked up, if I'd listened,
You didn't. That's the only fact that matters.
I went to the school today, before the gala, watched him through the fence. He was drawing, alone, concentrating. He looked happy.
He is happy.
I wanted to wave, to call out, but I didn't know what to say. Hello, son. I'm sorry. I exist. I don't exist to him, and that's it should be. I found the assistant. She kept the pieces in a drawer as a reminder of what I am.
Keep it. It's yours now.
You don't want it?
I have what I need. This and him.
I'm sorry. For the check, for the silence, for the boy. Mostly for him.
He doesn't need your apology. He needs you to leave us alone.
I will. I'll sign whatever you want. The patents, the audit, the custody, all of it. I'll disappear.
You'll do more than that. You'll tell the truth. Publicly. To the SEC, to the press, to your investors. No more lies, no more family values speeches, just the facts.
I'll do it.
And then?
And then I'll go. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere I can't hurt anyone else by forgetting they exist.
Goodbye, Lucas Hart.
Goodbye, Vivian.
Behind me, headlines exploded, empires burned. Ahead of me was only the road home. That was enough.
Ms. Wells, Mr. Sebastian Quinn is here. He doesn't have an appointment.
Send him in.
You've downsized.
I've right-sized. Have a seat.
I've seen the filings. The SEC complaint, the civil suit, the criminal referral.
You should have. You were named in all of them.
I didn't know about the files, about Leah, about the extent of it.
You didn't ask. You just kept the photo and the narrative and the quarterly payments to a woman you claimed to remember.
The photo was real. My feelings were real.
Your feelings were convenient. They let you play benevolent uncle while cashing royalty checks on a patent you didn't own.
He looks like he could have been mine.
He looks like me. That's the only resemblance that matters.
I'm not here to fight. I'm here to make amends. I'll sign over the foundation, the properties, the art collection, everything. Just let me see him once a month, supervised. I'll sign waivers, NDAs. I'll disappear after. Just let me have that.
You want visitation for a child who isn't yours?
Biologically, no, but I could be a presence, a positive one. I could teach him things about philanthropy, about being a man.
He already knows about business. He taught me about supply chains when he was 4. He knows about philanthropy. He donates half his allowance to the animal shelter, and he knows about being a man because he watches his mother work 16-hour days while 3 grown men fight over a shadow. Every payment your foundation to Phoenix Holdings for 5 years. Itemized, dated, signed by you. You approved every one, every quarter, every year. You never asked who Phoenix Holdings was. You never asked who Lin Wei was, because it was easier than knowing.
I didn't know it was you.
You didn't want to know. That's the difference.
He's happy. In the picture, he's happy.
He is.
I could make him happy. I could try.
You could, but you won't. Because happiness isn't a visit once a month. It's waking up every morning and knowing exactly who you are and who loves you. He has that. Without you.
I'll sign the papers. I'll plead guilty. I'll dissolve the foundation. I'll disappear.
You'll owe a public apology. To me, to Phoenix Holdings, to the investors you defraud. And then you'll tell the truth about the gala. No omissions, no spin.
I'll do it.
Ms. Wells, Mr. Gabriel Young is online too. He says it's urgent.
Vivian? It's me. I saw the news. About Sebastian, about Lucas, about everything. I need to talk to you. I'm at the old penthouse. I just want to explain about the drone and the giraffe and the juice boxes. I remember the juice boxes, Vivi! I remember—
Block his number, all of them, and send a cease and desist to his last known address effective immediately.
Understood.
The work wasn't done, but the distractions were. Finally, the airport lounge was too quiet. The kind of quiet money buys when it wants no witnesses. The city was already behind us.
Mommy, Are we there yet?
Almost. We're waiting for the plane to be ready.
Vivi, I found you.
You're not supposed to be here.
I know, I bypassed security. Told them I was with you. They believed me.
That's not Jeffrey.
No, it's a friend for Jeffrey. I thought maybe he'd want a friend.
Jeffrey's in the trash. At the park, where you left him.
I went back, dug through the bins, found him dirty, so I got a new one. Cleaner. Better.
It's not better, it's just new. New things break faster.
I remember the juice boxes, the ones with the straws that don't break. I bought a case, drank one every day, trying to remember what it was like to be the one who bought them.
You never bought them.
I know, that's the point. I should have. I was too busy being me. The guy with the drones and the convertibles and girls with red hair. I missed everything.
Mr. Young,
Yes?
you talk too much. You talk and talk and talk, but you don't listen. Mommy listens. She listens to the stones, and the jewelers' suits, and juice boxes, and your giraffes. That's why you're here, and we're leaving.
I just wanted to say goodbye. Properly. Not like before, not with the drone or the bracelet or the lies, just goodbye.
Goodbye.
Tell me I'm not a total loss. Tell me I could have been
You were a
something.
mistake, but you were a mistake I survived, and that's the only thing.
Is he gone?
Yes.
Good. Now we can go home.
Apple juice, in a carton, with a straw. The stone was warm in my pocket. The juice box was cold in his hand.
Good. The straw didn't break.
And for the first time in 5 years, I didn't wonder what they were doing. The new apartment smelled like citrus cleaner and fresh paint. No doorman, no concierge. Just a key, a lock, and a place no one had ruined yet.
It's quiet.
It is.
I like it. I have enough.
Enough for what?
For pockets. This one's the leader. The others follow.
Why do you like them?
They don't talk, they don't lie, they just are, and they're heavy, like truths.
Heavy like truths. He said it like he'd always known the difference between weight and noise. Maybe he had. Hi, I'm Maggie from 4B. Saw the moving truck. Thought I'd bring over a welcome meal. It's vegetarian. My kid's allergic to dairy, so no cheese. Hope that's okay. I'm Vivian Wells. This is my son, Leo. Hi, Leo.
Hi.
Some people arrived with gift bags as warnings. Some arrived with casserole and didn't ask for anything. Quiet street, good schools. The park out back has the best swings.
The ones that don't squeak.
Exactly. The difference was immediate. If you need anything, sugar, screws, someone to complain to about the building manager, I'm down the hall. If you ever want to trade stones, I've got some from the lake. Blue-gray. Real pretty.
Blue-gray. Like the river?
Exactly like the river, but heavier.
I'll think about it.
Deal.
T-Rex. Good choice.
Good choice. The food was simple, warm, honest. So was the room.
For you.
Thanks.
The trees are dancing.
They are.
Mommy,
Yes.
this is home.
Or the phone, or the horizon. I just watched my son, and the stones, and the quiet. Yes, this is home. 3 blocks from the apartment, a brick school with an iron fence gave us something rare. An ordinary beginning. First grade. He'll need gym shoes by Monday, and a change of clothes in a labeled bag. Noted.
Mommy, where's the library?
Down the hall, past the water fountain, big oak doors. Construction paper apples on the walls. No one here knew our names, and that was the point. He didn't look up. Not for the other kids. Not for me, just for the page.
He collects them.
Good hobby, better than screens. Your son's got good taste. That's a first edition about metamorphic formations. Bit advanced for 6, but he seems to be following it. He's 7. 7. Even better, he doesn't fidget. First day jitters. No, first day peace. We've got a section on minerals behind the Atlas. No checkout limits for first graders. As long as they're returned in 2 weeks. I will.
Ma'am, the shibe on page 12, it's misidentified. It's Numit. The banding is wrong.
Well, I'll be. You sure?
Positive. Shibe has wavy bands, Numit has straight.
You're right, kiddo. I've been shelving this book for 10 years and never noticed. He's got an eye. He does. Smart, quiet, observant. You've done good, Mama. Ready?
Ready. Elena says I can keep it for 2 weeks.
Good.
And she said there's more books on rocks, in the back.
We'll check them out next week.
Peace never announced itself. Trouble usually did. This time it came in a plain white envelope from Montana.
Leader stone, baseline.
He said he wasn't writing for forgiveness. He said he'd stopped listening for footsteps that weren't his. Stopped waiting for a son who was never his to begin with.
He said he would not write again. The last stone cast into the water. He hoped it sank quickly.
Who's it from?
An old acquaintance.
Is he done bothering us?
Yes.
Good.
He didn't need names. He only needed to know whether the door was closed. I watched his words blacken, shrink, and turn into what they always should have been. He never asked to read the letter, never asked why I burned it. He just knew, because he always knew.
Is it gone?
Yes.
All of it?
All of it. The past was ash in the fireplace. The future was a blank page under my son's hand.
The stars are different here.
They are.
They're brighter because there's no noise.
Yes, because no. The letter was ash. The men were ghosts. The noise was gone. And we were here, home.
Morning came sharp and clean, the kind that made your breath visible and your choices simple.
Mommy, which one skips better?
The flatter one.
He watched the water until it stilled again, like the answer mattered more than the throw.
This one stays.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ready for what?
Breakfast.
That was Leo. He could stand at the edge of a pond like a philosopher and still be 7 a second later. The usual rock star?
Apple juice, straw please, and the silver dollar pancakes.
Coming up. Coffee, Vivian? Yes, black.
It's heavy. Heavy things don't like to move. They like to hold the line.
Normal. Unremarkable. Ours.
Do you think stones dream?
Maybe. About being skipped. Or staying still.
The leader stone dreams about staying still. I can tell.
How? He didn't rush. Didn't look over his shoulder. Because there was no one there to look for.
You're not sad anymore.
No, I'm not sad.
Good. Sad takes up too much room. In pockets and hearts.
He spent laundry money on a song like he knew exactly what it would buy me back.
Come on.
The diner faded. The past faded. There was only the music, the stone in my pocket, and the weight of his hand in mine. Outside, the sun was fully up. The pond was still. The stones were where they belonged. And we were here, free.